What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Nigel Spikes. Welcome back to another episode of Other Side of the Game. Last time, I was chopping it up with y'all, talking to you about, things you need to know when you leave in college. A little bit of that, how it's gonna be when you leave college. A few paths you can take. What might be beneficial to you as a younger player coming out, and a little bit of what you need to know to help you sustain as you are playing overseas. I talked to you about self motivation. I got into that, and I tapped in a little bit on just like taking care of your body. And that's like I said last time, man. That's one of the most biggest things that will help you survive in any league that you plan in. That'll help you have longevity in your career, and it's very important. Your body is your money. The longer your body can hold up in this league, and the longer you can maintain without having like major injuries, the more money you can make. It's just simple as that. But I mean, granted, it is, it's almost impossible to hear of a player going their entire career without having no injuries. It's any major injuries. It's damn near impossible. So, if you do get injured, I would say depending on the severity of it, try to treat it as best as you can. If you have to take time, take time. You know, Depending on how your contract is set up, you can take time, and the team they'll work with you, and they'll help you get better. Do rehab, do treatment, strengthen your body, do what you need to do to get back on the court. And if it's something like major, then take time, and if you gotta take some time off from that season, do what you gotta do. But it's better to do that, to let your body heal and recover, rather than if you can't, rather than to keep playing on it and forcing yourself to play on it, and you may make the injury a little bit worse, and which could be more detrimental to your body, and that's your money. Like I said, your body is your money, and you don't want to fuck up your money. So yeah, I think it's sometimes you have to rest. Like myself specifically, being in Japan the last 6.5 years, 60 games a season plus preseason, and if you make it to playoffs, it's a lot. That's a lot on your body, and you're playing back-to-back games. You're playing Saturday, Sunday. So, I mean, that's a lot on your body. It's a lot of wear and tear, and you have to take great care of your body. So, you know, there's things you can do, but if an injury somehow happens, which it happens all the time in every league, you just have to, treat it as best as you can. Make the training your best friend. Like they always say, the trainer should be your best friend. Make sure you stretching repeatedly. Make sure you hit in the weight room. I ain't saying you gotta go in there max out, lift the heaviest shit you can lift. I'm just saying, maintain throughout the season. Make sure you working on your hips, your core, all that, your glute, just everything. Make sure you're working on everything, because you're using all that in every sport, and that applies to every athlete, not just basketball players. But yeah, the weight room, that should be, you should pretty much live in the weight room. Or like I said, if you don't have a weight room, then you can always improvise, do stuff at home. Get you a yoga mat, get into yoga, stretch, get some bands, do all that. You can always find something to do that can help you improve your physique and strengthen and maintain your body. People did it throughout the whole pandemic, so Now it should be just like, easy to pick up on. There shouldn't be no reason for it. And I mean, eating plays a big part in it. I'm not saying, like me myself, I'm vegan, so I don't really eat what everybody else eat. But I'm not saying you have to eat like me, but you have to eat right. Like when you young, you in college and shit, high school, you can eat you eating the McDonald's, the pizza, all that bullshit. But as you get older, you gotta eat better. You have to eat better because all that sits in your body, and it makes it harder to the worse you eating a lot of bad food, and you're not putting the right stuff in your body. It sits in your body, so it's taking days to digest. It's making your body heavier, more inflammation in your body. It's slowing you down, and your production on the court is gonna go down. Gradually, you may not see it right away, but it's gonna go down. You get hurt, and it's gonna take a little minute to recover. Rather than if you was eating right, your blood is flowing better, and you healing faster, you recovering faster, you feeling lighter, you quick on your feet. So it's eating right is key, and it only gets harder as you get older. But yeah, you gotta eat right, man. You gotta eat right. Help yourself. You keep yourself from getting sick, and just it's so much that go into it. And like I said before, hydration is key. You gotta hydrate. You have to. Drink as much water as you can. It's good for you if you a high level athlete. You're gonna be you're sweating a lot. You're always active. You need it. You gotta replace what you're putting out. So yeah, I would say hydration is key. Um, yeah, like rehab. Rehab is great. Like you may feel like you don't need it. And that goes with a lot of athletes, like you might be in great shape and all that, you don't feel that your body is a little worn down. You may not feel that your body is a little beat up, because you probably can withstand that. Like you tough, you're a big dog. But shit, your body will need it. Like it's something it's prevention to keep you from getting hurt. So yeah, get massages. Stretch daily, periodically. Keep it. You got that. Got to be an everyday routine. Just like doing just doing the basic stuff can take you so much further. And a lot of people, as they get older, like after they've been injured, and or they keep getting injured, have a little nicks and little knick-knack pains and whatnot. They always reflect back like, man, damn, when I was younger, I wish I would have been stretching more. I wish I would have been taking better care of my body. But you don't want to wait until it's too late, because when it's too late, it's just it's hard to bounce back from that. So I think it's best to get an early step on that, and yeah, you won't have to worry about a lot of things. So that's another major thing that you can do. Overseas, like the most athletes, like I feel like most athletes, their one of their biggest fears, period, is getting hurt. Any athlete, actually, your biggest fear is getting hurt. But like I said, injuries happen. So the thing with international basketball, if you get hurt, like people really become very skeptical of you, especially depending on the severity of your injury. So like, let's just say, for example, if someone was to like tear their ACL or something, you know, and you do that, you tear your ACL, and you do your rehab, everything you need to do to come back. And once you start back playing again, you feeling good and all this. And when it's time for you to sign somewhere and like start playing again, is very normal for teams to look at you like, oh, you may have lost it. He's not the same player. He probably lost a step. He probably can't do what he used to do. And that it's sad to say, but that's normal. That's how the game is here. No matter how much time you put in somewhere or what you did before that and your numbers, none of that shit matters. But if you get hurt, it's like all that goes out the window and you have to start from scratch. So, I mean, that's just something that, you have to be aware of. And if it reflects into your salary, you can't, I mean, yeah, you're going to be upset. Anybody would. I would be too. But, you're just going to have to take it to the chin and you got to come back and prove all over again that you can still do this. You still that guy or girl. You still a beast at what you do. But they really would they really become skeptical. And some teams don't, if they're paying a lot, they don't really like to take the risk, because it's not like the NBA, NFL, or whatever, where it's rare that you're gonna see like someone with a multi-year deal. You're not gonna see that all the time overseas. It's very rare. So I mean, most teams, they're signing you for that year, and they really don't want you missing games. They really don't want you if you're not 100%. So you always have to be at the top of your game, always. And it's just that simple. So I mean, it's if you get hurt and you coming back, you just have to know that it's all about proving yourself again. Another thing, I mean, if you do get hurt, let's say you get hurt and whatever your injury is, it requires you to miss the entire season. Say if you get hurt in the beginning of the season and you have to miss the entire season, then it gets even more trickier, because like like I said before, teams become skeptical. But the more time you take off, it's like they look at you like like you lost it. Like, oh, he can't do nothing. Like pretty much like you a baby all over again. You gotta learn how to walk and crawl. Yeah. So teams become like very iffy. Like, we don't know if he can do it still, but you still may be that, still may be that person. So I mean, and you just have to prove yourself. And if you take more than 2 years off, if you take more than a year off, it gets even harder. You might not even be able to get a job after that. And if you take 3 years off, I mean, it's pretty much like forget about it. Like you definitely a rookie all over again if you do try to make a comeback. Some people don't, because I mean, like taking 2 years off, it's like, all right, well, fuck it. Like I'll just stay home with the family and start my life here. And I understand that 1,000%. But for the ones that are still fighting, still at it, is taking time off can be very hurtful. It can. So that's why I'm telling you that it's very key to take care of your body so you can prevent these little minor injuries, because I mean, you don't want that. You don't want to miss out on the money, and bills never stop. You never have to stop paying for stuff. So yeah, you don't want little things to set you back. You don't want that. Another important thing that a lot of players coming out of college should know. I mean, I mean, it's kind of hard to know right away because your game can always develop a lot more than what it was in college. I know mine's did. I know plenty of other players that are like that. In college or yeah, pretty much college. You'll be playing one way. Like for example, for me, when I was in college and when I was in the D League, I was, I'm pretty much one of the tallest people on the team. So they're gonna put you like if you're not getting the ball every play, if you're not a Joel Embiid, a Joker, if you're not ball dominant like that, then they'll put you like in the dunker spot. If you're an athletic guy, they put you in the dunker spot. You doing the dirty work, you playing defense, and that's when the game was a little bit different. But the game it changed over the years, so my game had to change, and I had to develop more skill, and I had to work on my handles, being able to be a threat outside as well as inside, and so I had to progress with the game, but so I had to progress with the game, so um, for a lot of players like in college now, they're more skilled early than we are. They kind of develop more, you know, than we were when I was in school. So now I think it's best for players to kind of know, if you can get an idea of what kind of player you may be, and you can kind of present yourself to that market. So for players like myself, like if you're a big guy, we pretty much fit in more in the Asian market. You can. I'm not saying this is the only place you can play, but I'm just saying this. Like I know a lot of players here that are like 6'9" and up. They're pretty much all big men, or they're very big guards. So, this market is good for you because, teams here, they don't really look so much for guards because the domestic players are guards and they sign those players. But since there's not very many guys that are my size as domestic players, they tend to bring the foreigners in for that. And from what I've seen in Europe, you know, there's a lot of guards that go there because they have a lot of domestic big guys. So they bring in a lot of foreign guys. They're also bringing some foreign big guys as well, just like some places in Asia. It's here too. It's not a common thing you'll see, but you'll see some guards here. There's a few teams that have like some twos. You might see a point guard here. So it's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible, but the best thing to do is to know what kind of player you are. That way you can kind of get an idea of where you want to go, where you can make the most money, where you'll have the most successful career and play the longest. You can find a home pretty much. And that's what a lot of guys do here. I know guys that have been playing in Japan for 10 plus years. They every single year they're here, and it's easy for them after playing here for a while because you develop some connections. You've created a fan base for yourself, so people want to see you here every year, and you meet GMs, presidents, coaches, trainers, managers, whatever. You get people know you, and you have an idea, so you can kind of like push for yourself to go to certain teams, or you can negotiate for yourself if you wanted to. And I think that is very key to know because like I said, that's very big for for a player. I think that's very big for a player and also business because one of the best things I've learned is after the season, when you go home, when you're going back to the States or wherever you're going, for you to go home, for you to go enjoy your summer without having to like stress about where you're gonna play next and all right, what I'm gonna do. I'm trying to find a team. You worrying about all that. You thinking if you, is your agent on top of their job? Are they doing what they're supposed to do? All that's very stressful, and it takes away from you mentally locking in during the summer because I mean sports period you got to be locked in all year round. You can't really take days off because somebody else is always working, and if you want to be the best or you want to be on top of your game, you got to always put in your work. But if you focus in on that, then you're not really focusing on getting better. You're not really focusing on taking care of your body. So I mean, if you know, like for example, for guys that play here, that have been playing here for a while, before the season ends, you're kind of already like putting your bid in with other teams per se, or trying to figure out what's your next move before the season ends so you can go home and enjoy your time with your family and not be focused on that. And then you getting more comfortable. You already comfortable, so you know where you're going. You know what your next team. And then when you get here, bam, you right into it. You already you feeling good. You took good care of your body, everything, and your mind is free. That's one thing that's very important. Just being like mentally stress free from all that because it's very stressful. I've seen it. I went through it myself a few times, and I'm telling you this now so you can avoid this. So that's why I would say, like, knowing the type of player you are and knowing the countries that you will be most beneficial in is very important. It's very important. But I mean, we're gonna get into a little bit more things, but for today, that's it, man. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and peace. It's your boy Nigel Spikes, and yeah, it's the other side of the game. Catch you later.